Happy Friday, everybody.
Made it.
TGI.
Took long enough to get here, didn't it?
Right? I know, right? And in this case, it's going to be a hot one. Yeah. And it's going to be a hot weekend as well. We're talking about temperatures feeling like triple digits.
And we're wanting to know how you're planning to stay cool. Maybe stay inside, go to a pool.
Any of the above. They have to look at the forecast that you want to know coming up in just a second. But a lot of folks wondering, is this sort of our new normal? Like summers like this that are just scorchers, is this what we're going to have to deal with? And scientists seem to think so. Take a look.
You start feeling dizzy, if you start sweating profusely, you need to get out of the sun and get something cool immediately. Have fun in the summer, but obviously use common sense and really recognize any heat-related symptoms, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that was some tips on what you should do to make sure that you are staying hydrated. They also say, though, you got to be careful about not overhydrating as well. You can actually get too much water when you're out and about, so be careful of that too. Here are some of the sort of safety tips when it comes to overhydration that can cause what they call water intoxication. Again, folks, it's going to be really hot, so I'm not thinking this is going to be a big problem for too many people, but don't overdo it, especially if you're an athlete of some sort or something like that. So,
also a side tip, if you do get heat exhaustion, the tips are not to chug water. You're supposed to slowly drink it as well. So that's one thing. A lot of people say, really feel faint or whatever like that. Nope, you want to slowly sip the water because sometimes you can kind of flood the system and give a little shock to it as well. So.
And same thing with, not just us, but our pets. I mean, a lot of folks have furry friends around here. And I know during the show we were talking about, remember that the pavement temperature is a lot hotter than what the air temperature is.
It could be 120 degrees. So you put the back of your hand down and you feel it.
Yeah, it's hot for your pet too then, for sure.
Yeah, Romeo has not been getting his typical walks. No. Yeah, I feel really bad because also it's been so hot heading into the evening as well that and the sun sets and pretty much goes. So Romeo will make it up to you in the fall, I promise.
No, it's very dangerous for pets, right?
Yeah.
Especially all the fur and everything. Well, let's talk about the nation. Take a look at this picture of the nation to show you the extent of these watches and warnings that extend all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast. You can see from California and Arizona all the way into the Carolinas. We do have advisories, not in the Charlotte area, but east of here, and that would include places like Fayetteville, Raleigh, Rocky Mount, Greenville, North Carolina, to the Outer Banks, and up in the northeastern corner of the state. That is a warning up there. That's around Elizabeth City, up towards Pasquotank County, North Carolina. Hot, hot, hot. Now, a heat advisory means heat index is expected to be 105 to 109. That's why we're kind of, possibly tomorrow. Excessive heat warning, that's 110 or greater. That's dangerous when it gets like that. I mean, that's life-threatening in many cases. So here we go through the weekend. Over 100 today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. And next week, we got some big changes on the way. We're going to get away from this oppressive heat. And but 95 yesterday. May has been an excessive 95-degree month, hasn't it, Chris?
No, it's crazy. We can't get past 95. This is the fourth time. Yesterday we hit 95. The day before was 95. 2 other times before that. But oftentimes we keep on saying, hey, it's going to be 96, 97, and it just can't get past that.
We're struggling.
So that's why Larry went safe with 95 degrees today. I think that's a good bet, Larry.
Well, let's go back to this 7-day. And the great news about this 7-day forecast, the fact that next week, finally, we can get back to being excited about temperatures in the 80s.
Woo!
Upper 80s.
That's right.
Who would have ever thought? Wow, upper 80s. That is so cool.
Yay.
We're celebrating.
Yeah, have a good time.
Personally, I like the 90-degree mark. 95 is when I start to get, and this is so odd coming from Wisconsin where it's like cold for 6 months.
I think 90 to 95, that's summertime. It's the heat index that makes it really difficult. Yeah.
And the humidity.
Yeah. Yeah, when this dew point temperature is up above 70, then this is very uncomfortable.
You're feeling it. Yeah. Not great hair days either.
Yeah. So are we going to connect the dots now?
Yes, I believe we have it up and ready to go. Where you been?
The hottest days of the year are here in Charlotte. But is this the new normal? Let's connect the dots. This July is expected to be the hottest month the world has ever seen. And if you think it's hot here in the Carolinas, in Phoenix, there's been a 26-day streak of temperatures higher than 110 degrees. And scientists agree climate change is one of the biggest reasons temperatures across the world are soaring. New research published this week shows heat waves we're suffering through here in the U.S. would not have been possible without climate change. And scientists say unless the world stops burning fossil fuels almost immediately, we should expect summers to get even hotter. As it stands, this could be the hottest year in human history. And next year could be even hotter. And that is connecting the dots.
And one caveat to that, and I'm not the scientist here. There are other people here at this desk that are far more knowledgeable than I am. But one thing that when we were preparing that piece is that scientists say that this does not mean that next year is going to be, the next hottest and then the year after that. It will still fluctuate, and you'll have some summers that are a little cooler than others. But overall, the trend is going upward and will continue to go upward until we,
so the average
as a world, will decide to do something different.
That's just a fact. And then there's debate. You can debate all day about climate change, what causes it, and that can cause conflicts or become physical. But it is happening, and we just have to do our part to try to make some changes. And when we talk about water temperature around Florida, South Florida, down near the Keys, 100 degrees, and the hottest water temperature in the world was in the United States. That's scary.
Also, we bring this up, you hear El Nino. So El Nino is just a different oscillation that it really changes the patterns of pretty much the Earth, and that is now reaching 0.5 above normal Pacific. So what that means is we're officially heading into an El Nino, but the way things are trending, that water is going to continue to warm up. That's also going to lead to hotter temperatures. This happens every several years or so. The last really big one that we had was 2015, 2016. That led to over $200 billion natural disasters. So just letting you know that we are heading into that global pattern that is going to lead to hotter temperatures and even some worse storms. So
and El Nino is actually warming the Pacific waters.
Yeah.
But our waters here are warmer than the Pacific waters, all the way over towards the west coast of South America. That's why they call it El Nino. The fishermen in Ecuador many years ago, they stopped seeing the fish would go away around Christmas time. So they said it must be something to do with the Christ child, El Nino. The opposite of La Nina, the cooling of the waters.
Look.
A little history there.
Yeah.
How about that? All right, folks. Well, stay cool no matter what you do. Stay out of it. And we'll see you back here on Monday morning.
With the AC on.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.